tonight's entertainment.
What up? Welcome in, everybody, to Mike on the Mic, episode 16. I'm your host, Mike Reeves, and it is draft day, fantasy football. Got my rings on here. I got my two-peat, my 2008, the T-Row and T-O show. I'm excited. A lot of great news, some breaking Viking news we're going to get to here in the show in a little bit. But as always, every single week on Mike on the Mic, we get in to Would You Rather. This is a live interactive show, so please feel free to comment and interact with me, your host of Mike on the Mic, Mike Reeves. Let's get started with Would You Rather. Would you rather get one free round-trip international plane ticket every year or be able to fly domestic anytime for free? I don't care. One time, I'm going to pass on that. I want to fly for free all the time. Would you rather be able to be free from junk mail or free from email spam for the rest of your life? Probably email spam. You get a lot more email spam than actual junk mail. Junk mail is easy. Just toss it in the trash. Email, I have to delete to get to my main stuff. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm not a big fan of that. Milton, what's going on, my man? Mike Buck from Mike and Mike Manhour. My hat and my shirt match. Well, yeah, they do. I did that on purpose. I wanted to look fresh for the draft today. Got my Vikings custom Mike on the Mic hat. I'm ready to rock and roll, man. I'm pumped. 2 drafts. I got one here in about 2.5 hours, and then another one this evening. I will be replacing Benzie, Matt Benz of Benzie's Bit with Brandon Combs here a little later tonight, doing my NFL power rankings on the RTF Sports Network. You can also find me on all the podcast platforms and on twistsportstalk.com. Find me on Twitter at GotMyOwnShow. That's right, at GotMyOwnShow. That means there has to be another show that I'm a part of that's not my own. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. I'm a part of Twist, the Weekend Sports Talk, also an RTF Sports Network and Twin Cities Network affiliate. You can find that show on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Central on the RTFSportsNetwork.com. But enough of that. Back to Would You Rather. Would you rather give up bathing for a month or give up the internet for a month? I'm going to be one stinky-ass motherfucker because I'm not giving up that internet. Would you rather give up watching TV/movies for a year or give up playing games for a year? So I'm assuming this means video games, which I am avid. Just bought the new Madden, giving that a test run. Pretty excited. The new NBA 2K21 comes out in 4 days. And for all you video game freaks who used to like playing Tiger Woods, they have a new PGA Golf Tour 2K1 that is available right now. So I will be getting that as well. My birthday is coming up next week. Me and the Twist Fellows, we are now a part of the media. For those of you tuning in live, here is my media pass for a local professional minor league baseball team, the St. Paul Saints. So we will be going there on my birthday as a part of the media. We'll be sitting in the press box, hopefully be able to get to interview some players. So that's exciting stuff. Mike Buck would give up games. He hasn't played a game in 4 years. Milton would give up the internet, so he must really like to be a clean man. Add me as a friend, Milton. Old Facebook got shut down. Got to watch my hashtags. Of course, the man trying to keep us censored. Hopefully, I stay pretty PG on here, so Facebook allows mine to keep on rolling. I don't know if I answered that. I love gaming, but I will give up gaming for the year because I'm all about my TV shows. Would you rather never be able to drink sodas like Coke again, or only be able to drink sodas and nothing else? Well, for those of you that don't know, I don't drink alcohol. I am allergic to it. And I do like a good Diet Mountain Dew, Diet Dr. Pepper, a good DDP. So I'll just drink sodas constantly and, rot those teeth. So yeah, we got some agreement in there. Would you rather have amazingly fast typing, texting speed, or be able to read ridiculously fast? Both of these are horrible. Who cares? But I don't read. I know how to, because I am reading these right now. But I guess we'll go with typing, texting speed. Maybe if I could type like a lunatic, I'd get some awesome high-paying typing job. Would you rather live under a sky with no stars at night, or live under a sky with no clouds during the day? Who the fuck came up with these? No clouds. That means it's blue sky, and I'm happy. And I like the stars, man. A little stargazing at night with, your lady friend. You mean pop? Jesus, I need to follow these after every time I read. Yeah, I say pop. The damn question said soda. Okay, read. Rather read fast. I suppose I do like to read online articles about sports. That's how I do my show prep for Mike on the Mic and Twist, the weekend sports talk. So maybe I'll read really fast. I could get all my show prep done very quickly. Would you rather have free Wi-Fi wherever you go, or be able to drink unlimited free coffee at any coffee shop? Well, I'm with T-Mobile, and I don't need Wi-Fi. I have unlimited data, and I love coffee. Cheers. So I'm going coffee. Would you rather take amazing selfies, but all your other pictures are horrible, or take breathtaking photographs of anything but yourself? This is bullshit. I can't take breathtaking photos of myself. Whatever. I'm vain. I'm taking amazing selfies, great backdrops. Yeah. Post away, Facebook. Would you rather never get a paper cut again, or never get something stuck in your teeth again? Far too often I'm getting things stuck in my teeth more than I'm getting a paper cut. But when you do get a paper cut, they hurt, man. This is, I'll just take a toothpick, get the shit out of my teeth, and I don't want a paper cut ever again in my life. I am actually here at my job doing Mike on the Mic for all of you tuning in on all the podcast platforms, rtfsportsnetwork.com, or watching live on Facebook. And we are a printing and marketing company, so we deal with a lot of paper. So I tend to get more paper cuts than the average Joe. So no paper cuts for the rest of my days. All right, let's get into some sports stories. Starting in basketball, Giannis. That's right, Green Bay Greg. Giannis Antetokounmpo. I said that wrong, I believe. Who gives a shit? Wins the NBA Defensive Player of the Year in a landslide. 75 first-place votes from a panel of a hundo, earning 432 points. So he won the MVP last year, looking like he could run away with that again this year. But I'm hoping my boy LeBron James, who's actually been pissing me off over the past week. But forward Lakers star Anthony Davis came in second with 14 votes. So he had 14 to Giannis's 75. I suppose that's why they call him the Greek Freak. Was Kyrie Irving right about the NBA bubble? The doubts, the meetings with the players, his concerns that playing in Orlando would take away from the critical work needed on social justice reform. A lot of the guys in the media, if you watch sports or anything like that, tend to agree that he was in the right. I still believe he's in the wrong. The players took a strike. There we go. For about a day or two, they were back in action yesterday. And one of the reasons was they, tried to come up and formulate a game plan of what they wanted to do and accomplish. But really, none of them had a main plan for what they were going to do for the social injustice. I mean, if you're just going to go walk the streets with a sign, I can do that. I mean, you have a huge platform in this bubble. Black Lives Matter all over the court, all over your jerseys. There isn't a bigger spotlight and platform to be able to discuss and kind of get stuff, done. So they came back because paychecks would have got cut, Mike Buck says. That's true, but mostly that's true for, the younger players. I think first bat when they decided to strike, it was, well, we're all going to do this. And then when you step back, we have to do that in life, ladies and gentlemen. We have to take a step back. We have to be logical. We have to be rational. We have to take a look at what's going on. And when they realize that a lot of the players in the bubble are rookies and they don't make LeBron James money, they decided to move forward to it. So I think that was the right move. I still don't agree with Kyrie. The piece of shit's not even playing in the bubble. So I want to hear from people who are playing, not from some dipshit who's hurt all the time and can't even help his team, who got bounced from the playoffs. Michael Jordan, voice of reason during the NBA owners meeting. So Jordan, he owns the Charlotte Hornets, and he's the only black majority owner in the league. He reached out to the NBA Players Association president, Chris Paul, in advance of the meeting to get a better understanding of what the players hoped to achieve. So this is perfect for the NBA because they have a former player and an owner. That's one of the reasons they wanted to do this. It's like, look, this is kind of what we're looking to achieve. And you as NBA owners have a lot more sway, with government officials. They're your buddies, the good old boys club. So this is really what we're trying to, get done. And what do we got going on here? Man Hour, we have a segment called Bet It starting next week. Oh, I'm looking forward to that twist. We have Bet of the Week, which I am currently leading as of the show yesterday. But I could have botched it all. Loser of that gets doused with a big old thing of water. So, yeah, good for the players to have Michael Jordan kind of in their corner, even though he's a douchebag. Top NBA prospect LaMelo Ball signs endorsement deal with Puma. This is big news because he leaves the Triple B, the Big Baller brand. LaMelo Ball is the first to sign an endorsement deal outside of the Big Baller brand company, made famous by his lunatic, dipshit father, LeVar, and his brother, Pelicans point guard, Lonzo Ball. Now, I've been waiting. I don't know if I'm more excited to break the Vikings news to you or talk about the fact that Jordan Love isn't impressing anyone at the Packers training camp. So the Packers created a firestorm when they traded for Jordan Love, traded up for the 26th pick to grab Aaron Rodgers' heir apparent. Here's a quote. He hasn't fallen down the quarterback depth chart. He's already at the bottom of it. But Love has yet to even proven a glimpse at why the Packers traded up to draft him in the first round. Nobody expected him to take the world by storm in the first 9 practices, but every throw he makes seems like a touch pass, and he's had some accuracy issues.
Nobody cares.
That's true. That's true. Thank you. Calm down, everybody. Jordan Love. You won't get much Packer news here on Mike on the Mic. I'm a huge Vikings fan, but anytime I can criticize them, I will do that. Staying in the NFL and staying with the quarterback position. Cam Newton, absolutely not the Patriots starting quarterback. That's how he answered his question. Every day is a work day for me. That label is not important to me right now because I know I have so much to get better at, so much that I need to learn, so much that I need to be comfortable with. And throughout this process, that's the last thing that I'm pretty much worried about, knowing that there are certain things that when I come to the line of scrimmage, and it's just not firing mentally as I would want it to be, rather than other plays that may be called. That quote was read from a cue card that Bill Belichick gave him. So he's clearly doing the Patriots way and being a good boy and listening. And he knows he's the starter. There's no way he signs in New England if there's not some under the table agreement that he's this. Who are they going to start? Jared Stidham? Oh, my God. Half the defense already quit this year due to the invisible enemy. So they're botching. They're trying to get Trevor Lawrence, but he knows he's the starter. And that's all there is to it. That's it for sports stories. We are going to keep it local. Locally Minnesota. I'm a Minnesota-based show. If you are listening on rtfsportsnetwork.com, you can't see my fresh hat in the purple and gold. So breaking news in Vikings camp. The Jaguars and Vikings agree to trade Yannick Ngakoue. Damn it, I had this fucking name. I was listening on the way in. I just kept saying it. Ngakoue. There it is. Ngakoue. Yannick Ngakoue. The deal will see the Vikings send a 2021 second-round pick, so next year, in a conditional 2022 pick. That would be a third round if the Vikings win the Super Bowl and Ngakoue makes the Pro Bowl, or a fourth round if he just makes the Pro Bowl and we don't win the Super Bowl. Otherwise, it's a fifth-round pick. So we will be winning the Super Bowl, so they'll get a second next year and a third the year after. Ngakoue has to sign a franchise tag for the deal to become official, and the Vikings need to restructure some of their contracts to fit his salary under the cap. He's under 25, 37 and a half sacks over the past 4 years, which is the only 4 years, and 14 forced fumbles. So Danielle Hunter's been kind of left out of training camp. He's been hurt with an undisclosed injury. So either this deal is to replace him or to put another stud on the other side of him. But either way, it is exciting. No, we will get more than 5 to 7 wins. The trade does matter. You know, the only thing that we're unsure about is if we'll be able to sign him. It could get to be a 1-year deal. If that does happen, the Vikings would get a compensatory third-round pick, most likely in the 2022 draft. So good move. I love seeing the Vikings, obviously pulling some other stuff. So we'll stay with the Vikes. Cameron Smith undergoes successful open heart surgery. Very good news coming out of the camp Tuesday, as he was a part of a COVID-19 test that discovered this heart. He'll now undergo a 12-week rehab program in Philly. After that, he's declared a desire that he wants to come back and help his team win in any way. Vikings rookie cornerbacks Jeff Gladney and Cameron Dantzler vow to be ready for early season aerial assaults. Whoo! Whoo! The Vikings will run into murderer's row of quarterbacks in 2020. Now, that's not a lie. So we'll start with Aaron Rodgers here in US Bank Stadium to open the season 2 weeks from today on September 13th. So the first half, the Vikings are scheduled. We're going to play Phillip Rivers, Ryan Tannehill, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford. So Gladney and Dantzler are going to have to really step up to the plate after releasing starter Xavier Rhodes. We got rid of Trey Waynes. We got rid of Mackenzie Alexander, who I think's in jail for a domestic. In addition to Gladney and Dantzler, we also selected Temple's Harrison Hand in the 5th round and undrafted free agent Neville Clark, who I'm very high on out of Central Florida. So Mike Zimmer, you just got to trust in the process. Minnesota Timberwolves tailor potential new owner in advanced discussions. After more than a month with only a trickle of news on the ownership front, we might just have a buyer. So the latest news we received about the sale, the city would only be owed about $50 million in compensation from any new owner. But that current owner, Glenn Taylor, was going to have to do everything he could to ensure that the Wolves stay. So a report from The Athletic's John Krasinski. The suitor would be former Memphis Grizzlies minority owner Daniel Strauss, who sold his stake with them a couple years ago. So just keep us here. That's all I care about. 2020 NBA draft ranking the best options for the Timberwolves at number 1. So breaking down just a few options. We could keep the pick and take LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman. So put yourself in our shoes here in Minnesota with the Wolves. What would you do? Make your stars happy with someone who can help win now, or just draft for the best player available? Option number 2, trade the pick and get another piece. So Gerson Rosas is very aggressive when it comes to trading. We saw that in last year's draft and in the offseason when we traded everybody but 2 players and then got D'Lo over here. But they're fishing around. They're asking questions. They're optimistic that Edwards or Wiseman being capable of helping the team, but they're not sure what they can get. This isn't a year where there's a Zion or a LeBron or an Anthony Davis. I mean, we hear this all the time, and we know that, but there's plenty of talent. The trouble with can't miss prospect is you got to hit if you keep that number 1. You know, Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Bennett, there's plenty of number 1 busts over the years. So it's not a guarantee that you hit on something like this. You just got to hope that your scouting department is good enough. And, you know, truly, I want to see him keep it and get Anthony Edwards. I really don't think that there's enough value in that number 1 pick this year to be able to get a third superstar. But we could trade down and get more capital. That's the third option. So somebody like the Knicks or the Bulls. The Knicks, I believe, have the 8th pick. The Bulls have the 4th. So you wouldn't move out of the lottery. You would just grab a player that you really liked, who you knew that you could get at those positions. You grab some decent players, but then you're going to just add more picks. We gave up next year's pick and the D'Angelo Russell. I believe that's a top 3, top 5 protected pick. But next year's draft class is supposed to be lights out. So really, if you could get some more trade capital, get a pick in that one. But it really depends on, you know, I think the Knicks own the Mavericks first round pick next year. So the Mavericks are one of the best up and coming teams in the NBA. So to me, that's not really getting any value. That's basically getting a second round pick, unless you hit like the Bucks did with Giannis or the Raptors did with, the Spurs with Kawhi Leonard. That's just tough. I still think you got to go with Anthony Edwards. He's got the most superstar potential. I mean, he just looks like a superstar. So that, in my opinion, is how you got to go. Greg Bauman, exactly, and he's still better than a Viking starter. Did I miss a oh, here we go. Love isn't going to be needed for 3 years. He's defending Jordan Love. Greg, we're way past that. That was in the sports stories. I don't know if you were taking a shit and missed half of my show, but we're keeping it local, and that does not involve Wisconsin. So we will not be talking about that anymore. They should get the guy from Dayton, Obi Toppin. The crazy thing about Obi is he was a 0-star prospect. I heard that on the radio last week. You know, your Karl Anthony Towns, your LeBron, they're 5-star athletes. This dude had 0 stars, and he's a hard worker. You know, I think he'll probably go in the top 8, and he'll probably be an all-star. But to me, like I said, I want to stay at that number 1. That's the first time we ever moved up. You know, when we got Karl Anthony Towns, we were projected. We had the biggest percentage. We had the worst record to be able to get the first round pick. But that's the first time we've ever moved up to get it. And I just think you keep it and you just roll with it. So I'm a slow texter. Well, you wanted to be a fast reader, so you can't have it both ways, Milton. Come on now. So with the NFL season just a couple weeks away, we've been doing some over-unders. So we're just going to hit a few quarterbacks here. Kyler Murray, regular season passing yards, over 3,950 yards and 24.5 touchdowns. I'm going over on both. I think he'll get over 4,000 yards and probably over 30 touchdowns. I like Kyler this year. I don't know if he's going to be as big of a breakout star as everybody's projecting, just because he's a little guy, man. Little guys make me nervous. Matt Ryan, regular season passing yards, 4,550 and 27.5 touchdowns. He's easily going to go for over that in yardage. I think he's probably going to be under on the touchdowns. I love Matty Ice. He's a consistent fantasy player, consistent player in general. But the touchdowns haven't been there. I don't remember. It's been a few years, I think, since he went over 30. But you can correct me in the comments because I'm typically wrong. I'm sure Greg just remembers by memory, but we'll see. I like how you correctly pronounce Giannis when I'm not around. Giannis. I always say Giannis, Greg. P-E-N-I-S. Giannis. P-E-N-I-S. Giannis, right? All right. Now stop distracting me. Where the hell was I? Baker Mayfield. Regular season passing yards, 3,899 and 24.5 touchdowns. I'm going over on both of these. I think Kevin Stefanski's system. I can hear Mike Buck typing from across the states right now. He's just blasphemy. I hate Baker. Well, I love Baker. He's going to be fantastic this year. Get him while it's hot, boys. Dak Prescott, 4,319 yards and 27.5 touchdowns. I think he's going to have over the yardage and probably under on the passing. Ezekiel Elliott takes away a lot of those touchdowns. Josh Allen, 3,249.5 yards, 22.5 touchdowns. I'll go over on the touchdowns. I will probably go under on the yardage. I think he'll get over 3,000. We'll see. He's a breakout candidate. But we'll just have to see. That's all I'm going to cover this week. We'll hit some more over-unders on the show next week as well. So typically I do a TV show review. This has got me hot, folks. It's got me hot. The Society was canceled. It was canceled. There was a fury last week when it was announced that The Society had been canceled after just one season. Netflix had renewed the teen drama for a second outing back in July, and with a raft of big questions left hanging at the end of its first chapter, its fans, myself, we were eager. We wanted more. A source told The Hollywood Reporter that despite being happy with how both shows performed, the uncertainty over the dates and the pandemic, this stupid corona, canceled one of my favorite new shows, kind of a Lord of the Flies. They might be living on a different planet. They might be in a different universe. I'm not even going to tell you to check it out because it's canceled. There's no point in checking out a show with a huge cliffhanger at the end of it to just get let down by Netflix, and get it canceled. So very depressing. No review for you. I had to share it. I read it on the internet. I read it slowly, Milton. But yeah, it's just depressing. Here's your random fact to end each and every show here on Mike on the Mic. Random fact: kids ask 300 questions a day. A 2013 UK study from online retailer Littlewoods.com observed young children and recorded the questions they asked the adults around them. The children tended to turn to their mothers for answers, and these moms could end up answering an average of nearly 300 questions per day, or one question every 2.5 minutes. The moms reported that the hardest questions they were asked included, why is water wet? And what are shadows made of? Littlewoods.com went on to say that these mothers are hardcore alcoholics and like to drink a lot of wine because of all the questions they asked. 300 questions a day. Now, I have twin 4-year-olds, so that would make it 600 questions a day, and every 1 minute, we'll just say. I'm going over on 600 questions a day. They're 4. They're trying to learn everything. As long as they don't ask me, Dad, what is fuck? I think I'm doing a good job. So thanks for spending some time with me, Mike on the Mic. We'll see you back next week for episode 17. Be sure to check out our main show, twistsportstalk.com. We've got 37 shows through. We had a great one yesterday. And again, all of our shows, Green Bay Greg, Benzi's Bit, Mike on the Mic, and Twist, the Weekend Sports Talk. You can find us on rtfsportsnetwork.com. Make it a good